Hello. Have you ever tried ordering food simply by looking on the left side of the menu? Hi, my name is Eileen. I'm not a foodie, I'm not a food critic, I'm a mindset coach. I coach individuals on their mindset based on universal principles. And if you're watching me live for the first time, if you're wondering why am I coming on live, it's because I'm on a challenge. And if you've been watching me live for a while, let me know by putting a hi in the comment box. Or if you're watching this on a replay, feel free to hashtag replay. So hi Steven, good morning. Nice to have you live with me. So the question is, have you ever ordered food simply by looking on the left side of the menu? When I first heard this ordering from the left side of the menu, I remember it was from a friend who's from down under, from Perth. She's financially free, right? Has sufficient wealth for this lifetime and probably a next or two more generation down. So when she first said that, I was like, what does it mean? Then it actually occurred to me that if you look at the menu, what's on the right side of the menu is the price. If you look on the left side of the menu, it shows the food that's being listed, right? So have it ever occurred to you that when you're looking down the menu, when you're ordering your food, look through, perhaps you start with the left. I hope you do start with the left. Even though I'm not a foodie, but I've selected preference for food. I'm not very big on food, but still I start with the left on what's available. Do you have the tendency whereby after you look on the left side of the menu, you flip to look at how much it is? I have to admit, I do that. I perhaps sometimes even just scan through the menu and look for maybe the mains and immediately just scan through the right side of the menu looking at the price first. So when I heard about being able to simply order by looking on the left side of the menu, I was like, oh, that's a very interesting idea, and it's also a nice idea. So like I shared yesterday, if a thought is presented to you, how would you like experiencing that thought? And this thought of ordering from the left side of the menu made me feel good. So I entertained the thought. And there was once, because the more you think about it, the idea expands and it comes true. So there was one day I went to my usual restaurant. Okay, this is a usual restaurant I go for great Italian food. I know their menu in and out, but somehow I always order their pizza. Okay, I love the Italian food. And we went in as usual. So we got a table, we sat down, and the server was asking, hey, would you like some specials for the day? And she told us, oh, there's a nice burrata cheese. It's a good starter, good for sharing. So I was like, yeah, why not? Okay, we have the burrata, and then we have the regular pizza and pasta, all for sharing. As I said, this is a restaurant I've always been going. I know their pricing, okay? So when the server recommended the special for the day, which was the burrata as a starter, I just accepted it. When the bill came, that's the fun part. I got a shock. Hey Wilson, good morning. We're talking about food this morning. Great way to start the day, isn't it? So when the bill came, I got a shock. It was double of what I usually would have paid for, because the burrata was actually twice the price of my mains. So if I can get my mains in about the 20s range, and this is before tax, okay? We have a high taxation rate for our goods and services tax. So the burrata was like the equivalent of 2 mains when it's just a starter. I got a shock. I really got a shock, but of course I still paid for it, right? But the thing is that I gained an experience. I actually experienced being able to order from the left side of the menu, and this experience was even better. I didn't have to look at the menu. It was presented to me, and I said, yeah, sure, whatever, just bring it on. And when the bill came, it actually felt very liberating. I don't know if you have that feeling, because maybe I'm brought up with a very conservative, traditional family. It's like we don't really splurge. We are very selective with our spending, you know. So, and food is just food. I probably eat to live. I don't live to eat, okay? So, on hindsight, looking back, it was an amazing experience, because I normally wouldn't have done it. But once you experience it, that's like, wow, that's how it feels. So it's nice to be able to experience more of such feeling, to be able to order from the left side of the menu. So recently I went back to the restaurant again. It was funny because why I brought up this story was that I went to the restaurant recently, and they also had the burrito on special for that day. But this time, on the chalkboard, they actually indicated the price of the special for the day. I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe some people got a shock, because it's a starter. You wouldn't think a starter will cost more than your mains, or even double the price of your mains. But regardless, it was really, really good burrito. It was still worth the experience. I mean, yes, it was a price, but it was an experience that was worth much more that monetary value that was tagged to it. Okay, so what's the experience you had when it comes to being liberating with feeling abundance? I mean, this was also something I shared yesterday during my coaching call with my clients. I always joke about the story of the $25,000 Rolex. Like, who really needs a $25,000 Rolex? And sometimes I forget to wind my time. It doesn't even tell me the time. With the mobile devices, who really needs a watch? So I actually asked my clients yesterday, who really needs a $25,000 Rolex when I have a $25 Casio, which can tell the time, the date, and actually has a dual time feature, which is really very useful when you're traveling. But between these two, do you need a $25 watch or a Casio watch or a $25,000 Rolex? Nobody needs a $25,000 Rolex. The point is that, would you want to have the ability to own a $25,000 Rolex, right? It's the choice, the ability to have that preference. So that is whereby it's about experiencing the abundance, and then you get to decide. It's not that, oh, I don't want luxury goods, or I don't need luxury goods, but it's more of rising up to experience it, then decide that, nah, I'm not big on luxury. I can afford it, but I'm not big on it. Then you make a decision. It's not that you decide not having it prior to experiencing it. That's a whole lot of difference. Okay. Hey Cindy, good to have you with me live today. There's food, there's Rolex watches, Casio. Yeah, so that's it for today's live. I'm coming on a little bit earlier because I've got a long day ahead. I thought I just want to pop on earlier to start the day with such abundance thought, right? Yeah, it's always better to have a choice, A or B, rather than it's always better to have choice A or B rather than to choose. I think that's what you're saying, to choose. Yeah, it's always about a choice. And when you have a choice, don't think like, I have no choice and hence I have to choose B. That sounds a bit of a downer. Again, I shared this with my clients today. It's a bit of a downer. Why not just think about it as in, what is your preferred option? I would have preferred it if I have two options, or I prefer it if I can have both options. So it's all about a preference, because if you just think along the way whereby no choice, yes, I agree, no choice is also a choice, but it doesn't feel good, you see. It's about when you say no choice is also a choice, it feels like you're a bit grudging about that outcome. It's a bit grudgy, it's not uplifting. So it's about what if having that preference. Yes, and definitely I agree. Cindy would say she loves luxurious experiences. Yes, because luxurious experiences is not about a need, right? Who needs a 25,000 Rolex? It's always about a desire, a want. And then that's when you're actually on a higher frequency. That's working on a total frequency whereby you believe there's abundance is flowing. Just think of the TV antenna, right? You put high or do you put low? When you put high, you get better reception. So wants and desires are being on a higher reception, higher frequency. And it's all about acceptance. Yeah, accept the idea that there's plenty of abundance and there's plenty of preferences, and the more the merrier. Once you have preferences, you could be spoiled for choice. That's also an acceptance. Okay, so food for thought. Glad that all of you who are live with me and enjoying these ideas of abundance. So that's all for today. Got to wrap up. And if this live has been interesting, resonated with you, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment box below. If you know of someone who wants to raise their vibration about more abundance, feel free to tag a friend, feel free to share on your timeline. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Not sure what I'll be sharing tomorrow, but I'm sure maybe we'll talk more about abundance this couple of weeks, because some things are shifting and I'll just go with the flow. Okay, so thanks very much. See you. Bye bye.